Okay. Can you build modular in a seismic zone? Well, thankfully, the engineering principles are the same for standardized construction and modular construction. So good news, we can build modular in a seismic zone. And here at VBC, we have dedicated product and project design teams so we can handle all of your needs. Does VBC have standard units, and how does that impact cost? Well, VBC does have standard units, but we call them configurable units, and that's because the entire unit is not standardized. So we pre-design, pre-engineer, pre-cost 80% of the unit, and then leave 20% of that unit to be specified by your architect or design team. That allows you to get what you need on site and have your buildings not look the same, but it also allows you the benefit of actually pre-costing and pre-estimating, which saves up to 75% in estimating time, and it can save you between 10 and 20% on cost. How many stories can you build with modular construction? Good question. Modular construction is governed by the same building code. So for modular construction, we can build what you can build typically in traditional construction. So for wood, that means 5 or 6 stories. And then if you include a podium, that's up to 7 stories. And then for steel, it is whatever you can build traditionally. At VBC though, our wood systems go to that 5 or 6. Most of our wood systems are built over podiums, giving you 7 or potentially 8 stories. And then for our steel systems, low rise, we do 5 to 10 stories. And then for our high-rise steel system, it's up to 22 stories. Are high-end finishes possible with modular? Yes, you can specify whatever you want in a modular project. Here at VBC, we have our own proprietary finish line, so we do high-end finishes for a modest cost, but we also have our furniture line, so we can do custom furniture that integrates in with either hotel or multifamily offerings. Are the codes the same for modular construction and site builds? Yes, the codes are the same for modular construction and site builds. Here in the United States, VBC follows IBC, International Building Codes. In Europe, we follow the Euro codes. If we're building for a project in Canada, we follow the Canadian codes. So you can be sure that we are following the exact same codes as you would be for site build construction. What codes apply to modular construction? Modular construction doesn't have its own unique codes. Permanent modular construction doesn't. So it actually follows the local building codes of the project site. So if you're building a project in California, you have to follow California building codes. There isn't a generic overarching permanent modular construction code. Can you build modular construction projects in hurricane zones? Absolutely. There are projects going up right now as we speak in Florida and other hurricane-prone zones. Why? Because we follow the exact same engineering principles and building codes as site construction. So don't be worried, we can build for you in a hurricane zone. What is the inspection process for modular? That's a great question. The modular inspection actually starts with plan review. So we have a third-party plan reviewer that reviews our documentation, much like a city or local authority would. And then what ends up happening, or the special piece to our process, is that that agency is also inspecting, spot checking the modules as they go down the line to ensure compliance with that documentation and approval. So by the time you get your modules to the site, they are sealed, inspected, designed, quality assured, and you're setting them, and your local jurisdiction does not have to inspect them at all. Can you customize units when using modular construction? Yes, you can. But every factory has their own appetite for customization. Some factories take full custom projects, but here at VBC, we will customize units for you as a part of your product for a larger portfolio. So if you're a client with a large portfolio of work, we will do custom projects for you and make sure that that becomes your product. You can also work with us at VBC if you have an idea of what your units would be like. Work with us on configurable units and choose from our catalog, and you can get savings in time and cost as a result. How do fire ratings and approvals work? In modular construction, we follow the same codes, so the fire ratings and requirements are the same. The difference is that we may have specialty assemblies that we've either tested to conform to those codes or different means and methods for achieving those fire ratings. And those can either be qualified through our third-party inspection agency, building control, or fire officers on inspection. What's the permit process like for modular construction? Well, in the United States, we go through a state and third-party approval process. What does that mean? It means that the same agency that is reviewing your documentation is also auditing the manufacturing facility to make sure that everything is built in compliance with that documentation. So pretty simple here. And then that allows you not to have any of those items inspected on site. Outside the United States, we have two paths: systems approval or project approval. Under systems approval, we have certain locations that we have insurance agencies and governmental review that has already happened on the overall system to ensure building code compliance and building control compliance for fire, life safety elements, structural, etc. That's an easy way to plug our system into your project. Where that is not available, we have a project approval path. All that means is that we provide all of the same documentation, and that gets reviewed at your local jurisdiction, much like you would for a standard permit.